Going to be an early Christmas this year. After opening the package, unpacking it, checking what's inside, stop and read the instructions. That's always the best thing to do. The package is from Magma Engineering, and that's a pound of solid blue Magma lube. Operating handle, the die remover, a 3/5/8 sizing die, lead shot, and another tool to remove the die, it looks like. More good stuff. That's a solid piece of aluminum right there. A little bit more than a 1/2 inch thick. Mounting attachments. Thermostat right there. And there's a light that tells you when it's operating. That's the heater base for the Magma Star Lube Sizer. And there's the little rascal there. A Magma Star Lubricator Sizer. Instruction book at the bottom, and that other piece is the lube pump handle. Once you got the Magma Star Sizer out, you're going to take the top of the lubricant piston out of there. And you're going to see that piston, it's going to be down in there. And it looks like it's rounded over. And when you look at the end of your shaft, you're not going to see any threads in there. But that's not how you take it out. You reverse it, because this other end has got the threads on it that go into that and fit onto it, and that's how you pull that piston out of there. You're supposed to undo this collar too, turn it around, and there's your piston. Now when you put it back in, you want to go ahead and work that O-ring there, because it's a little bit flared. So you have to squeeze in on it a little bit to get the edges of it in. But you first put your stick of lube, of course, down inside the cylinder. The end of the operating handle is just smooth. You insert it into the hole, push it through there, and then tighten the nut on the outside. My first impression of this machine was that it was small and dainty. It doesn't have a really real tremendous looking link or fulcrum, but that is solid metal there. It's not cast. And the machine is made out of cast aluminum. So when it's used properly, this thing will size literally hundreds of thousands of bullets. You don't need a top punch for every bullet profile. The Magma Star sizes bullets by putting them in nose first, and it pushes that flat base through. Then when you put a second bullet in, it pushes that first one out. This is a view of the inside. You can see the little hole there. That's where the lubricant comes through. You can see the two O-rings that are number 14 O-rings. The Magma Star Lube Sizer does not come with a sizing die I ordered the 358 diameter lube sizing die. The sizing dies come with a lead slug that's been sized with the die. There are holes in the die, and it comes with a bag of lead shot. If you have a bullet with grease grooves that you don't want lube to flow, you put the lead shot in the holes. So you have to set that up. My first bullets are going to be from a Lyman 358-665 4 cavity bullet mold. This is the 158 grain cowboy bullet. Testing it with my beer brewing thermometer as the light comes on and off to see whether or not it's going to get hot enough inside after I put it on that steel mount. And I'll take it off there and test it on wood only. I've got a thermometer in it. Right now it's at 100 degrees. It's about 71 in the room. I've got the Magma Star mounted. I've already used it, so let me show you some things about the die. There it is, and you can see the blue band of Magma Lube that's on there. I plugged the bottom and the top rows, leaving the middle row of holes open for this 158 grain Lyman 358-665 cowboy bullet. And that was perfect. Depending on what bullet you're using, you'll use different holes in the dies. When you put the lead shot in there, you want to use a brass punch or a brass hammer. Little mallet, really. You can set a bullet alongside of the sizing die to get an idea of which holes to plug or not. You can see this cowboy bullet has the grease groove in the middle. That's why I plugged the upper and lower sizing die holes, leaving the middle holes in the row open. This is an 8mm Mauser, and you can see how many grease grooves that's got. So if I was doing this one with a .323 or .324 die, I would leave all the holes open. This is the top punch. You can see it's very heavily made, and they come in different diameters. Because they're flat, you only need a few of them. Check with Magma to see what other sizes they have. And remember, you put the bullets in with the base up. That's why you don't need the different profiles on the top punch to fit the nose of the bullet. The top punch screws into place. The threads are fine, so be careful, don't cross thread it. And you turn it in until you've got it in the amount that it needs to be. And I'll show you how you can measure that. In Magma's instructions, you measure from where this ruler is at the top to the bottom of the punch. And this one's set up at about 1 1/4 inches. That's what they suggest for a 158 grain 38 caliber semi-wad cutter. They've got some other measurements in the instruction book. That gives you a good idea of where to put this punch. This is the die extraction tool. It comes with the Magma Star. You could also order it from Magma. This is the top piece. It screws in where the top punch goes. Bind threads. This bottom piece, the stem goes through the die and it threads in to that top piece. The short piece is put into the top piece in case you have to push a bullet out of the die that might be in the die before you remove it. I've got it together and I'm going to pull the die out. One word of caution here first. Make sure the edge of this remover is not going to snag on the sides of the machine. Make sure you got it in all the way and it's clear of the machine. Don't force anything. Nice and smooth. Just lift up and your die comes out. To install a die, first grease those upper and lower O-rings if the machine hasn't been used, if there's no lube on it, if they're dry. Set your die in place, nice and square. And I'm using that upper part of the top punch remover. It's got a wide base on it to push the die smoothly down all the way into position. Once again, don't force anything. To install bullet lube, use the top end of the shaft where the handle is at that you've removed. Screw it down, pull it out, and don't get your face in the way of that end as that thing comes jerking out of there. Drop your bullet lube in. I'm using 1x4 inch solid sticks. It'll also use the hollow sticks. Push your piston back down. And install your cap with the handle up, and then place your handle screw back in there. Screw the cap back down tight. Give your pressure screw a little bit of a turn. I've already used some lube, so I'm going to turn it until I take up the slack, and you can feel it when it starts to put pressure on the lube. Right about there. And now I'll add the top punch and I'll be ready to start lubing and sizing some more bullets. If you like to keep wrenches, adjust your loading equipment, it's an 11/16 nut on that bullet top punch. Now a couple of details on the lubricating piston. It works off this linkage here off the handle. Double-headed bolt going to the lever, pivots, where then it pushes the piston in and out, which forces lubricant from the lubricant reservoir into the hole around the die and into the bullet. You got a brass plug here that's removable, and that is to clean out lubricant. When you're adjusting that top punch, if you've got it way out, far out, make sure that the nut doesn't hit the top of the die. That'll bottom it out and you won't be able to get any lubricant flowing there. Once again, if anything gets stuck or is hard, stop and see what's up. Okay, It's time to do some lube sizing. Bullet goes in, push down, and make sure you push down until the piston works. Like that. As you can see, this machine really does a great job. And the way it operates by loading the bullets straight in there and just push them through. It's very fast. The Magma Star Lube Sizer does a great job lubing and sizing cast bullets, and it does it faster than the Lyman 4500, the RCBS Lube-O-Matic, or the Santa Anita Engineering Company, now known just as Seiko Lube Sizer. Magma Engineering in Arizona acquired the rights to make and sell the Magma Star Lube Sizer from Star Manufacturing, which was located in San Diego, California. Star was a family-owned business that made Star Lube Sizers and the famous Star reloading machine since the 1920s. Parts are interchangeable between this Magma Star Sizer and the original Star Sizer. I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you later till I make another one on the Lyman Lube Sizer.